It is true that what Israel is doing in Gaza right now is an act of collective punishment, but it's a bit more complicated than that. Israel uses violence against Palestinian and Arab civilians as a functional tool in a larger strategy that has extended since the foundation of colonial Israel atop the ruins of historic Palestine. But why? One simple reason: psychological fear. If you create this kind of intimidation and fear among Palestinians, among Arabs, and send this message that if a single Palestinian dares resist the Israeli military, thousands of Palestinians are going to pay the price for this, it means that Palestinians would have to think twice, if not 100 times, before they resist. Israel has done this throughout the years, and particularly in Gaza. Now, Palestinians did in fact try to use a war on civilians as part of a counter-strategy. That happened during the Second Palestinian Intifada, 2000 to 2005. It didn't work. It didn't work because, number one, there was a growing sense of discomfort among Palestinians that this is not us. If Israel kills our civilians, by killing Israeli civilians, you are creating this kind of moral equivalent. We are oppressed, they are the oppressors. So hundreds of Palestinian intellectuals all over the West Bank and Gaza signed letters, and eventually they stopped this. And also because mainstream media in the US and the rest of the Western world refused to contextualize the counter-Palestinian violence within the existing Israeli violence and the apartheid and occupation paradigms that have existed for so many years. So killing Israeli civilians is no longer a functional tool as far as the Palestinians are concerned. In recent years, the Palestinians began changing that strategy and going after the military itself. Initially trying to send a message that the Israeli army is not this invincible army anymore. But on October 7, they have done something more than that. They humiliated the Israeli army. And in doing so, they are disarming Israel and its ability to tout having the greatest army and the most moral army and all the rest. Now, I don't think many people really mean it when they think that Israel is a powerful army. And I don't think many people around the world think that Israel and the Israeli army has any shred of morality. But what does this mean as far as the future of this so-called conflict is concerned? In a speech given by Benjamin Netanyahu today, he declared that this is the second liberation war of Israel. The second war of liberation. What does he mean by that? How come 1967 and 1973 and 2000 and 2006 or any of these other wars with the Arabs and Palestinians and so forth did not represent a second war of liberation? Why this one is in particular? Because of the military. The Israeli military has never been humiliated and defeated in the same way that they have been defeated by a group of Palestinian fighters fighting from a besieged area and manufacturing in their own weapons from tunnels under the ground. So is it possible that Palestinians have finally disarmed Israel of its greatest weapon that has been used against Palestinians and Arabs throughout the years? Israel so far achieved nothing militarily, aside from killing, of course, thousands of civilians and thousands of children. Only time will tell what's going to happen, but it's very, very clear that something fundamentally has changed, not in the psyche of Palestinians and Arabs, but in the psyche of Israel itself, that maybe a military option is no longer the only option.